see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning. Welcome to episode 833 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee's strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter-free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's Monday, April 7th, 2024. This morning, I'm enjoying a fresh cup of Ethiopian Yirgacheffe light roast from foodforestfarms.com because life's too short for shitty coffee. At a Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using a clean stream air roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10, LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out the C4 Club for even more awesome perks. Today, we've got a big show. It's on the crazy weather events in the area, storm shelter status, and stories for us and other locals. Upcoming product reviews I have worked in the works for hopefully this week, and my thoughts on Amazon's new live TV that they've had for a while, but we've started digging in, and I have a few thoughts on that. So grab your coffee, smash the like button, and let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing today? John Palmer, good morning, good day, and good week to you, sir, also. And Hunter over on Twitch, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Oh, man, it's been a wild week, guys. It's definitely been an interesting week since I talked to you last, between things that I've worked on and tinkered around with and got the bid axe fired up and been playing with that a little bit, monitoring it more, learning more about that. You can see I've been mining since block 890293. That's been an interesting little experiment. I got a blog post up for that on the website under both the product reviews. And that was nice of Norman to wait to get a drink until right when I turned the mic on. But anyway, it's under both product reviews and Bitcoin tools. And just to be clear again, I think I talked about it last week when I talked about the bid axe. It's basically a lottery ticket. And we could put that guy on the timer and see if we can get a world record drink. But it's basically a lottery ticket as far as the mining goes, as far as mining a block or being profitable with a bid axe. I think this is definitely a teaching tool, though. I think it's both it's a tool to teach about mining, and it's also a tool for you, if you pick one up, to get you to start digging in. And I don't know if it's just me, but as I turned it on, and it was super easy to set up, you didn't need any technical knowledge really. Basically plug it in and hook it up to your Wi-Fi. But it the information it displays, the things that it does, the settings you can adjust really started me being curious about what they all meant. And after 7 years in Bitcoin and knowing about mining on a minor level, well, I guess on a overview level, understanding what it is and basically how it works and how it secures the Bitcoin network, getting this mini miner, really this solo miner, personal miner, whatever you want to call it, it made me go down that rabbit hole, and it's been interesting. It's been interesting. I'm learning a lot, and I think it can do that for you. And for $180, I was trying to make the comparison to lottery tickets last week, and it didn't really come out the way I had intended when I started to talk about it. But basically, it's been 1,000 blocks or more since I turned the thing on, and yeah, so. It's a lottery ticket. It's a lottery ticket, but you get a lot more chances than you would if you bought $180 worth of lottery tickets. So anyway, that's a little bit about the past week. Like I said, I got a blog post up about that. I got some other stuff up on the website if you want to check that out. And yeah, away we go. First topic we had, man, the crazy weather this past week. I'm pretty done with it. it can be over for the season for sure. I would cautiously say cautiously say that I would prefer going back to the winter weather, the cold weather, the processing firewood, and being a little chilly all the time. Oh no. Stop and take that one for a second. Good morning, Mike's Homestead. Thanks for popping in. Mike dropped in the comment. So I ran my Jade through the washer and dryer. The display acted a little funny, but it still worked. That's good. That's good. And rest assured, as long as you have your backup phrase and seed phrase, your backup keys, your private keys stored, you can recover that other places than just on the Jade. So I'm glad the Jade still works. Was it the Jade or the Jade Plus? It could have been. I think Mike's Homestead might have had a sneaky little ploy there to put his Jade through the washer and go, oh man, now I got to get a Jade Plus. I see how that's going. And good morning, Cormac. How's it going? And Pip rolling in. Thanks for stopping, Pip. Mike said it was the Jade. So they're a nice little device, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't put together, is that your wallet isn't on the device. It's not in there. It's basically just the signer for it. So I'm glad it still works. That's a pretty solid longevity test if you can put it through the wash. I was thinking about that with the severe weather. Was you think about securing your keys, and like stamp seed and the DIY metal washers for imprinting your seed to prevent against fire if it's on paper, it doesn't burn up, things like that. Mike's home says I have a picture of my seed phrase saved on my iCloud, so no problem. Just for the audio folks, there's a big old wink face, so don't do that. Don't do that. But I was wondering, I'm like, okay, so you go through all the steps. You got it in a safe. You got it on something that won't melt. You got it on something that won't burn up or get wet. And in a tornado, who the fuck knows where it's going to end up? I think that calls into play the strategic location of several backups. Maybe not just in your same location. You have that backup phrase located other places, and not on your iCloud. Definitely not on your iCloud. But anyway, the weather over the last week, we had 2 rounds of, I think it was 2 rounds of severe thunderstorm, tornadoes, and that type of activity coming through. The second one came with some super heavy rain. First one had some rain, so definitely some downpours, but the second one was on the heavier side, I think, in this area. Well, it's supposed to be. So Thursday and Saturday were the 2 weather events. The whole week was kind of rainy, kind of had that chance to go either way. And Thursday night was really bad. We had a tornado touch down, actually 2 of them in a town close to here, like 20 minutes or 20 miles, about a half hour driving. Selmer, Tennessee. That's really close. Actually, Charlie, our buddy Charlie, that owns the pizza place that had the pizza truck and opened the restaurant. He lives over in Selmer, or did at one point, so he has ties to that. So I mean, it's in this really general area. Haven't been to Selmer, but definitely been near enough to see the street signs going to it, and it's close enough to see what happened there. EF3, and I think it ended up being EF1. Both hit Selmer. One did pretty solid damage. I'm sure if you've watched any national news coverage on the tornadoes this past week in Tennessee, you've seen pictures of Selmer. It definitely did a number. I think 6 or 7 people now confirmed deceased, and several others injured from what I can tell. It's a mess. It is definitely a mess. It took a wide swath right through town. hit an apartment building, hit a gas station, and these things are absolutely absolutely demolished. And I'm going to talk about it in the second segment here about storm shelters, and it's something that we've thought about since we took off in the RV, and since we experienced our first severe weather in the RV. It's something that's been on our mind, but we've really come to the conclusion we have few options, and it is what it is. And then when you see shelters, places where people are sheltering just absolutely demolished, and you still seeing casualties, injuries, or possible death when people are trying to take shelter. It really compounds the situation. Good morning, Mike. Mike's Homestead says 1.9 inches on rain on Saturday night. Tornado warnings here in town Thursday evening. Yeah, we got way more than that. I think between the two rain events, we ended up getting, I would say 6+ inches of rain over the 2 days. Plus, in between, it rained on and off. It was a significant amount of rain. We have localized flooding here, and it's on roads that I haven't seen in the 2 years we've been here. Seen the water kind of high around on the edges and the ditches, but hadn't ever heard of it closing. And now they're only closing for a few hours here and there, but that means the water's rising way higher in different areas than it normally does. I mean, every year we've been here, every season we've been here multiple times, the Tennessee River will crest and maybe flood certain areas down by the river there. But these are outlying areas, and this is, I think, coming from a lot of rainfall and runoff. Good morning, Jim. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate that. Hey, Jim, I got my Zap.stream. It says it's running, but my chat just keeps spinning. If you could drop over on Noster and drop just a comment over there and let me know if that populates or if this is just still not functioning properly, I appreciate that. Anyway, so the weather, it's been crazy. It's been absolutely, it's been nerve-wracking. And that's the part that is really hard. Clyde, Norman doesn't seem to care. Norman doesn't seem to care about the rough weather. He, most of the time we find him sleeping, but, he does try to take care of Corey and Clyde. Clyde is a mess when thunderstorms come through. He's been that way since we had a close strike here right after we. Jim gave me a comment and says I'm offline. Oh, interesting. So I'm getting the comment. It says, I'm going to take 2 seconds and look at this, guys, because I only get one chance a week to do it, and then I'll, interesting. I'll have to dig into that during the week. Maybe I'll do a pop-up live and see what's going on with that. I know they've been having a tough time with Zap.stream and back and forth, and I might just need to refresh everything. But anyway, Clyde, since we had a close lightning strike right when we got here to Tennessee, it was right in the front yard. Looks like I was live but lost connection. Okay. All right. Well, got to figure that one out. We had a lightning strike here right in front of the camper. It was super loud. It wasn't the one that knocked out our internet or anything like that. It smoked the tree here in the front yard. And ever since that point, Clyde has been a mess. Anytime lightning flashes, anytime thunder cracks, and I don't blame him. The camper, it rumbles, it shakes, it vibrates. It's louder here than it would be in any sort of structure. So he gets nervous, and in turn, Corey gets a little nervous. She grew up in Minnesota. She's experienced straight line winds in a trailer and all sorts of different nastiness with severe weather. She gets nervous. She's sky aware. She was raised in that environment, and so it gets amped up a little bit. between the two. I think she gets tired and irritated from the dog, and she's a little nervous, and it just kind of compiles. And then you add in the warning systems we have now, and the amping up on social media. Excuse me. Now, I don't want to downplay the severity of the severe weather. Tornadoes are nasty. I understand that. I've witnessed what has happened 20 miles from here. I've seen all the video of what happens when places get hit by tornadoes. I think the media and the people on social media, the storm trackers, the news outlets, the general citizens, they're talking about it and trying to be helpful. I don't think they're doing anybody any favors by amplifying it. I posted in the group at one point, what does it mean to you when the sirens are going off in your town? We were in the camper. The siren was going off in town, and it was early. It was early before the storms were supposed to come, and weren't supposed to be to us yet. And Corey and I had all the doors and the windows open in the camper, trying to air it out before we had to shut it all up for the storms. And as the alarms going off, the sirens going off, we're looking at each other like, "Is there a tornado already? Oh my god!" And so we started checking our phones and things, and it was for a severe thunder warning. Severe thunder warning, yeah. So it had gone into place, and the siren went off for a severe thunder warning. Severe thunderstorm warning, excuse me, severe thunder. It's going to be really loud, so take cover. But it started going off for that, and I was looking at Corey, and I'm like, I thought that the siren went off when a tornado touched down. When someone saw a tornado, it came out of the cloud, it touched down, it started doing damage, it was tracking, and they knew the direction it was tracking in, and that set the sirens off in towns in the path of an actual tornado. That's what I was always under the assumption of. Or there was a fire in town, and they were calling all the volunteer firemen to go wherever they needed to go. Those were the two things that I was taught as a child that the siren meant. Now, maybe they're advising people when there's a severe thunderstorm warning that there's a chance that it might come and hit you. I know watch and warning, but even with a warning, it seems like the warnings are getting very loose in when they call the warnings for thunderstorms and tornadoes. Maybe they want you to run and hide anytime that siren goes off. It's a little impractical with how much it's happening, and off and on throughout the evening. It's not like it's imminent. It's like it's going to come in a while, and then maybe it won't, and then it expires, and then it starts again, and then it expires. And it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think the way social media presents their maps, and I've talked about this before on the show, the wording, the coloring, the downplaying of the actual percentages, when 30% chance of possibly having the conditions for an event doesn't seem like a lot to me. When we make that bright red and danger color on a map and everything else is less severe than that, I think it does a disservice to the people that are trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in their area. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hunter says they use it now for people to look at their phone. Interesting. I mean, they do pop up on my phone, and they always say, if there's going to be severe weather, make sure your volume's on. Now that runs into another issue with this area and severe weather. We don't have cell phone service here. I mean, we do very intermittently have cell phone service here. And there were three kind of events that happened with this set of storms that that show you the vulnerability. And I understand that the solution to this is probably weather radio, I guess, if that would still keep working in the event. But cell phone, we have very limited cell phone coverage here. And that is consistent throughout the area. So this isn't just something that we're dealing with. We'll get the warnings every so often after they happen, but it's only when our phone connects. Now, normally our phone is connected to Starlink. Starlink works great, except in extreme cloud cover, which obviously during the middle of a storm, we get it coming in and out. It comes in and out. And I was like, all right, well, what's the solution to that? What's the solution to keeping internet all the time? And I was like, well, they're installing fiber all over the place here. Maybe that's good. I saw people talking about after the fact that their internet went down. So in the middle of these severe storms, when you're trying to watch the radar, when you're trying to watch live reports of where storms are, where they're tracking, things like that, in this area we're at, you're in the dark. You really are. As soon as the Starlink cloud's out, as soon as the fiber that people have signed up for around here knocked out, there's no cell phone signal, and you're really in the dark. You're really in the dark, so you're not really sure what to do. So, what the solution to this is, and Hunter says need to find a radio that turns on with the alerts. Yeah, we have a weather radio. I'm pretty sure still. The problem is the garbage on it, like I was talking about with the overemphasizing the weather emergencies. We've been in a flood warning for 3, 4, 5 days now. The weather radio that we had would be broadcasting that every so often on a set amount of time rotation, as long as it's active. That doesn't take into account 2 a.m. That doesn't take into account when you want the radio on and at its highest volume to wake you up if something's going to happen. You're getting erroneous river flood warning for Tennessee because we're 2 miles from the river. It really makes you turn it down and try to ignore it. It's numbing you to the warnings, because it's not just imminent severe weather. It's, the river might flood in 3 days, are coming up on that weather radio. And maybe there's programmable ones, maybe there's different channels, but that's been my experience with it. So between cell phone no cell phone coverage, Starlink going out, local internet going out, and weather radios just warning you to death. Probably not the best term, but it's definitely it's tough in this area. So it was a long night. We did go back and forth whether what we should do as far as shelter. And we've thought about that for a long time, and just go right into the shelter situations here at the beginning with this first topic. But we have a shelter here in town. We Corey and I have decided basically we're relegated to the camper or getting in the truck and trying to avoid the situation. Now, we know both of those are horrible options. The camper will be disintegrated. The camper will likely, if it got hit by a tornado, it would explode. If we were in the truck would get tossed around, the windows would blast out. We could secure ourselves with seatbelts, but we have 2 140-pound plus dogs flying around the cab with us. Not ideal by any means. We have decided that once we get to, one of our first priorities out at the property is to put in a in-ground storm shelter, I believe is what we're going to end up going with. Basically prefab, dug a hole, put it in, and have that available for us to go into. Why this is so important is there is a shelter in town. There is a shelter in the other towns, but we have 2 animals that are basically our children. That my wife will not leave. Corey is not going to leave a dog that's scared to death anytime the lightning flashes in the middle of a tornadic storm to go and sit in a shelter and worry about him. And that's just not going to happen. I like guarantee you it's just not going to happen. Our local shelter allows small dogs in kennels. There's no way I'm moving kennels for these guys into a shelter. They probably wouldn't let us in because they also say no livestock. And I'm guessing they're going to qualify a dog that big as livestock. So that takes a public shelter out of the question. And most of the shelters around here are very tiny, very small. I can't imagine being in there with these two guys. So it's a rough call. And so basically we watch where the weather systems are, what's coming, how it's behaving, if it's on the ground tornado, if it's and the people that are posting there's a tornado headed this way when they're seeing reports of clouds that could be a tornado. I think people don't pay attention to what the words actually mean, and that's where the disservice comes from with the reporting, because I think there's a lot of people reporting the hype. So, and it's a tough thing to weed out, because it is serious, it is dangerous, it is life and death. And when you're trying to decide what to do in the heat of the moment and give yourself enough time to make it effective, it gets tough. It gets tough. So anyway, with the shelters, we know we have our local shelter here. It doesn't seem that big. I've seen multiple times where in a severe weather situation, they say the shelter's open, and then there'll be a post that the shelter's full. Shelter's full. Good luck. So if you took the time to pack up and you drove and you're on your way to the shelter, screw you. It's full. Best of luck to you. I don't know where else they would go. Close to here, town about 10 miles away, they have a shelter also in the fire department. There was a big, long post on Facebook and discussion about it that no pets will be allowed anymore, and because one person that was using the shelter had an allergic reaction to a dog that was brought to the shelter. So no more pets in that local shelter, and that caused a big hubbub and a big huge argument on the Facebook groups locally here that are always interesting to read. And then down in Savannah, the largest town, I can't call it a city, the largest town close to us, and I believe it's the county seat there, where the county courthouse is. And this is a weird situation where when the storm warnings go off, they open the doors to the basement of the courthouse. And I think they're on automatic locks, and it just opens when the county issues a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. I believe that the locks just open. And I haven't been there, but from the in-depth descriptions and through them talking about it through these storms, it sounds like it's basically a hallway in the basement, or a hallway in the ground. Not very deep. It might be like a side entrance hallway or something. The person said that described it said it was about 8 foot wide. That it was just miserable conditions. That everybody sits against the walls in the hallway, and people bring their dogs, and as you got two dogs passing each other in an 8 foot hallway, people aren't really responsible with their pets. This one allows pets, I guess. There's no handicap access was one thing that people were complaining about, that there was a very large woman, very, very large woman that and elderly that was trying to leave the shelter when it closed, and they were forcing the people out because the warning expired. And that was where the rub was the doors unlock when the warning comes, but as soon as the warning expires, there's somebody there shuffling people out of the shelter. They said it was still pouring rain, downpouring and storming, and the flight of stairs to get out was in the rain. It's not undercover. And this lady, it took her 13 minutes to get up the stairs, and she had several people holding umbrellas over her. She was soaking wet. And it turns out, good morning, Canadian Farmstead. It turns out that there's an elevator inside, and they're tough stories. You read them and you're like, man, that's unfortunate. But then when you read the comments, it brings up a lot of good points. Is it the county's responsibility to provide you shelter? Is it the town's responsibility to provide you shelter? And I don't think it is. And the rules are there. If the county was able to provide a huge underground shelter where everybody could go and you could bring whatever dogs you wanted and you were isolated, you had a place to be, that'd be wonderful. I don't expect that. If somebody says you got to be a resident to use it, fair enough. I get it. Can't bring your pets. I get it. I'll do something else. But the reading the comments in the posts about these shelters, everybody doesn't feel that way. Everybody doesn't feel that way. There are there's extremes on both sides that want exactly what I described. I don't know if they want private rooms in the underground for each person that wants to come and take shelter, what they want. And then there was other people that are just like, the government should require people to install shelters when they build a house. I think that's a little too far the other way. But anyway, it's our plans are to install one right there on next to our cabin. We looked at them, obviously, with the tornadoes going through here. Facebook is just plowing ads out for me on there for the local shelter companies. And once I clicked on one, it was all over. So that's all I see now. But basically they're really not that expensive for what they are. One issue that we're going to run into is headroom, and as none of them were actually tall enough once they're installed for me to stand up in. And I don't like that. I don't like not being able to stand up. At least in a couple places. So it'll be interesting when we shop around and get them. We might end up with one that's made for almost a dozen people because it's just big enough. And yeah. So anyway, shelters, we are all good. And it looks like at least the next 10-day forecast, we only have about 1/10 of an inch of rain. The weather, the temperatures have dropped down. It's going to be 50s, 60s, 70s. It's not bad, and so it should be nice. Things will dry up a little bit. I'll be able to get out to the property. I'm targeting Thursday, Friday for a couple long work days out there. Hunter says $20,000 for an 8x10 box here. It was I think it was about half that installed for a similar size. I think it was 9. I want to say it was 8x10 and 6'2" deep. I don't remember. It was a large one. That general size. It was about $9,000 installed. The local company that was close. They come out. They do all the work. They fab them. I believe they fab them and they also install them. So I don't know. Canadian Farmstead says get the one that can double as a vegetable seller. Yeah, hopefully root cellar. And we've thought about that too, since we have access to a Mini X and can get materials to the place now. Is do we build a root cellar that we can take shelter in? Or do we buy a prefab shelter that can be used as a root cellar also? So that's other things to look at. But the price isn't horrible. It's not unachievable. for what we're going to get out of it. And it seems like the Tornado Alley has kind of shifted right to where we're at, right where we decided to settle down. So that's not encouraging, but we'll see. I've yet to be out to the property to see what happened. I know Jamie told me that he got some hail. So fingers crossed that the solar panels I unloaded and stacked in nice piles, the top ones are not shattered from hail. We'll see. At least they're not all spread out and like they would be if they were in an array, taking hail damage onto every single panel. It'd only be the tops of the piles, the 5 piles I have or 4 piles I have out there. Canadian Farmstead says I didn't pay the Tornado Alley tax. Yeah. So anyway, that's the first two segments we had there. Sponsor one of the show today. If you've been thinking about adding comfrey to your homestead, now is a great time. ComfreyRoots.com. We've got a buy one get one offer running right now. You use code NOFOOLIN at checkout. NOFOOLIN at checkout will get you buy one get one. If you're over there, you're looking at it and you're trying to figure it out. It says you get a free 1 root cutting pack. Basically, if you buy one of the larger packs, you'll get a matching one. The coupon code would not let me set it up that way for some reason, so it just says you're going to get a free pack. But use No Foolin', you'll get double your order. This is boxing number 4. Comfrey, great for compost, animal forage, and soil improvements. Don't miss out on the chance to order double what you get. You pay for one and you get double. That's again ComfreyRoots.com. Code NOFOOLIN, NOFOOLIN, NOFOOLIN for the month of April. Buy one get one free over at ComfreyRoots.com. Comfrey's coming up here. I was able to peek out at Jamie's that we started last year. It is coming in hard and strong. And ironically, when I was talking to him about it, he said, the plants were a lot bigger. I said, hey, Jamie, I snuck over and took some pictures. So when you see my footprints in the muddy mess we have here, that's who it was. It wasn't somebody else sneaking around your place. He says, oh, they look good. They were way bigger, but I hurt my knee at work, and I've been using it, and it's been working great. So right out of the ground, cut the leaves, smash it up, use it as a poultice, use it as a wrap overnight, and it's going to help those little bumps, bruises, cuts, sprains, and things like that. So get it growing on your property, even if you don't want to propagate it, you don't want to use it for soil amendment. It's beautiful to look at, and you can grab leaves and put it to work anytime you want. Canadian Farmstead asks, why did I put Bitcoin on sale? Man, I'm not buy it. See what happened. I'm curious to see what happens today with the stock market, with the Bitcoin price, what it did yesterday, what the stock market's been doing, and all the bullshit. Is this the bubble popping? Is this the bubble that everybody's been talking about? Not in Bitcoin, in fiat, in the stock market, in the US dollar. Is this the start? Is this Black Monday all over again? I don't know. The metrics that Bitcoin was showing last night as a prism into today's stock market. It could be an interesting day, guys. It could be an interesting day for sure. So, moving on a little bit, I got some stuff I'm working on this week. I've been trying to get more product reviews, blog posts up on the website. If you don't know how the whole new website thing went down, I'd been working on it. I was happy with the structure, the framework of it, and I was going to populate it with some posts so that when it went live, there was actually information there. Things went kind of sideways with my host, the hosting service. I used some tech support after I made a whoopsie, and he ended up putting the page that the framework was there, made it live, and instead of going through all the hoops to put it back to the old one, just to re-put this one up, I said leave it, and we'll get there as it happens. So I've been popping up blog posts for every episode of Director Detour. I've started doing a blog post for every episode of this show, and getting in some of the resources and product reviews that there's space for on the page. So, like I said last week, I got a bid axe, and the Jade Plus reviews up. I've gotten some beginner Bitcoin resources up, some podcasting resources up. And this week, I'm working on 3 products and hopefully getting all 3 reviews up on the page. The 3 products I'm going to be looking at this week are the Mistmo shed that I put up at the property. I'm going to be doing the blog post on the large one. And then hopefully soon I'll be doing a follow-up on the smaller one that we put at Tim's cabin. But talking about how much I love it, beyond the foundation issue, and that was really location and circumstances at the time that made me make that decision to do just the cinder block outside, like foundation. It's working fine, especially since I got the water collection attached to it, and it's keeping the water away from the base of the structure. It's been working great, but I would highly suggest if you're gonna get one, especially the 10x12, the larger one, if you're gonna make that investment, that you build a platform out of like a deck out of pressure treated wood or pallets or whatever construction you want to do, depending on how much money you want to put into it, or ultimately you pour a pad for it. That's, I think, the ultimate right way would be to pour a small pad for it and do it that way. But the shed itself, awesome. I really like it. It's been almost a year now with 2 windows and the 2 the ceiling panels. Nice amount of light inside. Anytime the sun's up, definitely got plenty of light inside. It's got a couple vents to let airflow go through, and the doors are really nice. The doors swing open on both the small shed and the large shed. They're not the slidey metal shed doors that like from when I was a kid that you could never get open. They bind up and all of this. And the door hardware, I was really impressed. I think the door hardware was the most quality stuff in the whole box. The most quality components in the whole box were the door hardware and the little latch locks that hold the one door shut. When you can open one door and keep the one door latched, and if you want to open them both, you unlatch the top and the bottom, and then they swing open. I think all the door hardware made it. And I think if you avoid that frustration of getting in and out of the thing, it goes a long ways for how long it's gonna be what you need in your backyard. So that Mistmo shed, fantastic. I think there is a quick link to it at the top of the product review page over at the website, thelotsproject.com. Also, just want to mention, as I'm talking about these Amazon products, if you're shopping on Amazon, this was a request from somebody in the community. If you want to support the show, you stop at thelotsproject.com. The L THELOTS, not lost, lots, LOTS project, LOTSPROJECT, thelotsproject.com. Right on the landing page, there's a image that says, "Are you shopping on Amazon today? Click here." You click it, it should open to your Amazon app if you're on your phone with my tracking link, and that gets you into our tracking, and we get a little credit off of anything you buy in that shopping trip. And I don't know who buys what or what they buy. I do know what gets bought. I have no idea who buys what. It's not tracked like that. It's just general sales tracking. For me, at least, I'm sure Amazon knows exactly who buys what, when, where, and who the affiliate is. But anyway, you click on that, and anything you buy in that trip, I get a little commission on. That helps me. So bookmark thelotsproject.com. You can check it out. And when you do your shopping, click on the link. Second item I plan to put post out today is the little DeWalt chainsaw. Man, I bagged on this thing. Little 12-inch battery operated 20-volt chainsaw. When Tim first brought it to the property, I just chuckled. I was like, yeah, it is what it is. It's for backyard use. It's for maybe a suburban homeowner that wants to maybe cut a limb off their tree. Man, I was wrong. I obviously you're not going to cut down a huge tree with it. I mean, you could, I guess, but it has a ton of uses. I've found a ton of uses for it. I recently used it to do a little handyman gig for somebody, cutting off bedposts in their bedroom. It wasn't like finished furniture. They were fence posts they used for a bed frame, but I cut off 10 inches off the bottom of their bed frame, right in their bedroom with a chainsaw. It worked great. No noise, no gas fumes, no nothing. It worked great all winter. I used the tiny chainsaw to process our firewood. If you followed along, we have cubic mini wood stove, and that we need like 8 inches or smaller chunks of firewood to feed into the stove. When we buy firewood, when we process firewood, when we move firewood, whatever we need to do with it, it comes in that 16 to 18 to 24 inch long, whether it's split or not, and it needs to get cut down. And hauling out the big Husqvarna, firing it up, mixed gas, and all of that to cut those, A, is a pain in the ass, and B, it's pretty dangerous. That large saw trying to cut these small pieces of wood even smaller. This a little electric chainsaw, it worked wonders. I set myself up a little processing station. The battery lasts a long time. The chain stays sharp. It zips through that stuff. It's quiet. So when I do it, I try to fill our tote before bed. It's usually dark and the neighbors are turning in for the night. And this little chainsaw is super quiet. So it's nice to be able to go out and process that and not worry about waking up the whole neighborhood every night. And when it's cold, we're chopping up a bunch of that stuff. We don't have a lot of room to store it inside, and we go through a lot to heat the camper. So that 12-inch DeWalt, man, cut and brush, small trees, pruning, all sorts of great stuff. It's definitely, if you're on the DeWalt battery system, it's a phenomenal choice. So I'm excited to do a little write-up on that. And then the last one I'm going to check into this week is the Pruvio dash cam. I got this a long time ago. Man, I think it was last summer. Company sent it out to check out. I opened it up. I looked at it. It looks great. It's a 4-channel dash cam. One camera faces forward out the windshield. It's got a rear backup camera. And then the cool part is it's got a camera on either side of the unit that goes on the dash. And you can take those and you can point them forward. So you have 3 views forward out the dash. You can turn them out so they look out into the other lanes. You can turn them back so they look out your passenger and driver window, or you can turn them all the way around and they'll both look in the vehicle, or any combination of those. So it's recording. It has all the fun features where if the car's off and the car gets bumped, it's gonna start it recording, video, audio, and the like. I looked at it. I went through. I have a dash cam in the truck that I installed before we took off, and so I never installed it. I'm going to install it. I'm going to install it and use it for a little bit. I've been reading into it a lot more. It looks like it's a very quality camera. So it popped up that it was on sale the other day, and I put it on my list to get installed and then do a little write up on it. So if you're looking for a new dash cam, this one definitely has a lot of options. You don't need to do the backup camera. I don't think I'm going to install that because I would need to buy an extra cable and do a lot more work to install it at the end of the truck bed. But I am interested in getting the main unit put in and get a little how-to video on that, and then write up a blog review after I get some video and make sure it works as advertised, which when I plugged it in and just used it without installing it, it worked great. So that's exciting. So the Mismo Shed, DeWalt electric chainsaw, and the Pruvio dash cam, links for those are in the video description. and will be in the blog post description. And like I said, you can always head on over to thelotsproject.com. That main Amazon shopping link is on the dash or on the homepage, and then you can check out the product reviews, scroll down, and see the blog posts or the quick links up at the top. So I appreciate that. Every click helps support us and get our cabin built and our shelter put in and all of that. So let's see, one topic left here on the list. Corey and I started down the path of these Amazon Live channels. I don't know if you guys have Prime. I don't know if you watch Prime. That's basically our TV entertainment, I would say. Watching movies on there, watching old TV shows on there, series. We would just put a bunch of stuff on a watch list, and then when we ate dinner, we'd sit down and we put a movie on. Normally it's stuff we've already seen. We're dicking around on our phones or whatever else we're doing. It's just on. I don't know. Maybe our watch list was really low. I don't know, but we dove into these Amazon Live channels. Now you can you see them on Prime when you're going through, in the TV channels it says like on now. I think it says on now. Corey drives the TV with the mouse and stuff, so I don't really pay attention too much about that. But basically, they have a bunch of different channels, and they seem to be one show or a series of related shows that are just on. You can't pause it, you can't rewind it, you can't start it, you can't watch it again. It's just episode after episode after episode of these TV shows, back to back to back to back to back. We put it on at one point. I think she was cleaning. I was doing work in my room on podcast or something, and she put it on, and we started digging into these. And so we were watching, I think Storage Wars was one that we started on, and it's interesting. You get sucked in. I get sucked in watching these shows, and I've seen them before. I vaguely remember them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. And if it has any sort of information that I can suck in, like Storage Wars is a dumbass show, and I know it's all fake, and they're planting these things, but learning about the shit they find interests me. And I told Corey, I said, we could really skip 90% of this show, and all I want to see is the evaluation of the stuff they found. But anyway, we started digging in a little further, and it looks like they have, if you've heard of ESPN Ocho, it kept popping up. And the commercial for it shows all sorts of the weird sports that I used to like to check out. They used to play them at like 2 a.m. on ESPN back when I was bartending, and I'd get home in the middle of the night. They would always have these weird sports on there. But now they got a whole channel dedicated to it. The commercial shows like cornhole. It shows fencing. It shows like water polo. All these weird sports, extreme sports, this and that. The other thing, it gets piled into this ESPN Ocho. And so I convinced Corey. I was like, hey, we got nothing to watch. Do you want to throw on this channel? It might have cornhole on it, or it might have this or the other thing. And she's like, yeah, why not? So we pop it on, we find it, and we put it on. And have you guys ever seen Spike Ball? They had a sport on, dodgeball championships. Yeah, Hunter says that's the type of stuff I was looking for. Well, we put it on the first time we give it a try, marble racing. We put it on, and it's Spike Ball. And I'm like, what is this? And like, legit, they ended up putting up the rules, and they explained the whole game. But this was a collegiate championship of Spike Ball. I had never even heard the sport, but apparently there's college teams playing this all over the country. Basically, it's like some kid brought his mom's exercise trampoline outside, and he got 4 guys standing around a little tiny trampoline, and they're playing a modified version of volleyball. And instead of hitting the ball over the net, that function comes when you hit the ball into the trampoline. And you don't have your individual sides. Basically, you can go anywhere once the ball is served. So you got two guys standing on either side of this little round trampoline. One guy serves, hits it into the thing, and once they serve, you can go anywhere. And the rules are kind of like volleyball, where you get 3 shots. I think it was 3 shots, a bump, set, and a spike to you and your partner to get it to hit the trampoline again. And then the other people have to, and volley back and forth that way. I thought it would be fun to watch. It's not. It's really not that great to watch because you can't see the ball. The ball is like a little softball size thing. And so basically it's 4 guys standing around a little trampoline, and you see their hands going like this and them running around, and all of a sudden you see a ball whiz by and it's done. Maybe if they made the ball a brighter color, I don't know. Or maybe it's just I couldn't see it. Or maybe it's the size of our TV. Maybe if you watch this on a 60-inch TV, it's phenomenal. I don't know. So we watched that for a little while, and I like zoned out on my phone, and Corey's like, "Are you watching this? Because if you're not, I'm gonna change it." And I was like, "Oh shit, I just ruined my chance of watching the Ocho anytime soon." And so we gave it another shot. I think it was yesterday or the day before, kind of just relaxing for a little bit, and pulled it up. And it was, I was like, there's so many things they could put on this. There's so many different cool little sports that they could put on this. And they were showing the 2017 Nathan's hot dog eating competition. They have on 4th of July every year. Joey Chestnut, he's the reigning champion, I guess, or maybe they kicked him out. I think they kicked him out. They canceled Joey, I'm pretty sure, at some point, I remember. But this was the 2017 Nathan's hot dog eating championship, and I'm like, with so many different things you can show, you're showing an 8-year-old hot dog eating championship. And this wasn't like 2 a.m. where you put your dump shows. This was like relatively prime time on the weekend in the afternoon, where maybe if it's crappy weather, you're trying to relax for the afternoon, and the weekend you're gonna go like flip the channels, and this is what they have on. I'm like, I don't know. So ESPN Ocho might be out. We flipped on the Game Show Network, where they were airing back to back The Price is Right with Drew Carey. And I don't know if there's only a certain type of person that goes on The Price is Right, or maybe there's only a certain type of person that they actually call up on the stage on The Price is Right. But watching the newer Price is Right, and I don't know if this might have been the same. Corey mentioned this yesterday, where people in our age, when we were kids, when the people that were adults were watching The Price is Right, where they were like, "Oh my God, these people are morons." But holy crap, the people that are on The Price is Right now, they scare the living shit out of me for society. If that is a glimpse into the average person in America today, it scares me. Also, I have no idea what anything costs anymore. No, not even close. Corey and I were both guessing prices and playing along with the game. And I am so out of the loop. And I don't even know what year it was, but it was close enough. Looking at the vehicles and stuff they were giving away, I have no idea what anything costs anymore. You know what? Better get to that Bitcoin standard soon, because I have no idea what fiat dollars I was. And it wasn't like I was always short or high on the price. I was all over the place. Some I was thousands of dollars over. Some I was way under, and I just couldn't nail it. So these live live channels, I don't know. I might have to stay away from them because I think they might be a more of a distraction than they are entertainment. I think you get sucked in and binge watch, and then at the end you look at yourself and go, why did I just do that? So fair warning if you're going to go exploring the On Now channels over on Amazon. Another sponsored read for today is the Fold card. Bitcoin price is down, so right now would be a great time to be buying gift cards and stacking percentage back sats with your Fold card. I did it this weekend with my Kroger gift card. I wish I could have waited till this morning to buy it with the price even further down. But with Fold, every purchase you make, you get percentage back in sats. Right now, if you aren't a Fold member and you sign up using my link, which will be down in the description, you get $10 in Bitcoin after you make your first purchase. So you sign up, you get your card, you fund your card, you make a purchase, and you get an extra $10 back in Bitcoin. Right now, looking at the price of Bitcoin at 76,000. If we pop back up, even minor jump to say 150, which is not out of the question in the relatively near future, your $10 will turn into $20. And as the price goes up, your reward that you got for signing up isn't just $10. It turns into $15. It turns into $20. It turns into $30 as the price of Bitcoin goes up. So be sure to check that out. Man, you earn stuff back for swiping the card, for buying gift cards. Man, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So if you want to play the system, you want to play the game, and you're currently not getting any rewards for your purchases, say you're using your bank's debit card, or maybe you're using a credit card, which is coming soon with Fold, but maybe you're using a debit card or credit card and you're getting airline miles back or something like that. Start accumulating an asset that's going to go up in value the longer you hold on to it. Start stacking them, put it away, put it on a Blockstream Jade. What a great place to store your rewards. But keep stacking those rewards, and it will only increase in value. So definitely check out the Fold debit card if you're not using it yet. Like I said, link in the video description, or you can reach out to me anytime you want, and I'll give you a link and tell you anything about it if you got questions and you're not sure how it works or if it's right for you. Pip says, yeah, they have the game show network on the TV in the customer lounge at Dodge. Yeah. I want to feel like the public has gotten worse, because I used to watch a lot of the old game shows, not just when I was a kid, but as an adult watching replays, and I feel like the general population has gotten dumber. Has definitely gotten dumber. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Anybody got anything they want to chat about real quick? We can do that. Otherwise, I'm gonna start wrapping it up. I got a bunch to do today. Comfrey orders go out on Monday. Like I mentioned earlier, comfreyroots.com. We got a buy one, get one offer with code NOFOOLIN. Let anybody know that you think should get Comfrey. Be sure to forward that on to them. I appreciate that. We're trying to transition a little bit more off of Etsy and onto our own platform. So comfreyroots.com is where it's at. Buy one, get one with no fooling. Lots of work coming up this week. Got episodes of Director Detour. Today came out was a gentleman named Dom Pereira. Really interesting dude. He was from Angola, came here as an undocumented citizen when he was a kid. Made it out of Philadelphia and went to Penn State. Has spun up several businesses and currently is working on a 400-acre blueberry farm in, I believe he said, it's New Jersey. He's also got a goat farm in Texas, real estate all over the place, and he's a tech CEO. So great chat with Dom. Later this week, I got Cindy Baker and then Vince Quinn. Vince Quinn was a sports radio talk show host that threw it away to go to be a podcaster. Threw it away, left, didn't want to be there anymore. He talks about that story. And Cindy Baker was a great chat. That'll come out on Wednesday. So check out Director Detour. If you enjoy those episodes, definitely give it a thumbs up. review or share it with someone you think would like that. Yeah, guys, hopefully it is a smooth week. We get to sleep all night. We don't have tornadoes or anything coming through, and the weather's nice, and we get a bunch of stuff done. So it's going to be a good one. I hope you all have a fantastic week. I hope you get everything done you want. You can check out more throughout the week at thelotsproject.com. Look for those blog posts and other things I got up there, or the Telegram chat at t.me/lotschat. That's t.me/lotschat. Come join us. We bullshit about everything all week long, and it'll get you from show to show. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you have an awesome Monday. I hope your week goes fantastic. You get everything done that you want to get done and more. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe everywhere you can, and we'll talk to you again next Monday.